Hello everyone and welcome to Let's Play Zelda 2 The Adventure of Link, and on this episode we're going to finish off the Island Palace and possibly finish off another palace. This is going to be a jam-packed episode, so I hope you enjoy. Anyways, watch out here, because the bubbles can knock you off and knock you in the water, and that's instant death, which sucks, but oh well. And also the Octorok's rocks can also knock you off into the water, but whatever. But now that we have the boots, and now we have the reflect spell, and we have the up thrust, or the upward thrust, we are well stocked to take care of the rest of the dungeons, at least for now. At least the maze palace. Dungeons palace, it's the same thing. Really, it's a palace on the top, and then the dungeon below, so I guess both could work, maybe? I mean, the original Zelda called them levels, but they were really dungeons. But whatever. Anyways, here you could use the up thrust to get rid of the Moa, but I'm not worried about it. Now you'll remember last episode we took the right fork. This episode we're going to go left. And we're really already close to the end already for this palace. If I can say already again. And what I mean by that is that once you get all the items on the right-hand side, finding the boss doesn't take that much effort at all. Now, over here we could use the jump spell to get the key, but I'm lazy, so I'm going to use Fairy. And that's kind of a clue that you may want to get up thrust, or the upward thrust. You don't have to have it, though, really. Down thrust, yes. Up thrust, not so much. Another one of these rooms with a point bag. We're going to skip the point bag, but I'm going to take care of the Doom Knockers. And I do want the key, but over here, I want to get rid of this guy because his axe will, if we're not careful, he'll get a little close and it'll be annoying. Now, for whatever reason, I have some sort of difficulty getting through all these stupid blocks. But, whatever. And I don't know why I couldn't get the jump here until then, but basically what you want to do is kind of form some sort of a path to get out of here. If I can do that... But anyways, we got the key, we're gonna skip the point bag, and that's all we need there. Don't worry there, there's not gonna be any more pits in this dungeon. Now we have another fork. I'm gonna take the right-hand path first. The wizards that we're seeing now, or some guides call them wizards, you just use the reflect spell, that's all you need to do to take care of them, but I don't need to worry about it. Here, you want to kind of at least get rid of some of these guys. Because if you don't... Well, if you don't, then they're going to knock you off into the lava below. And that's going to suck. That's going to ruin your day. Of course, we're going to get a red jar here. That's nice. Magic isn't really much of a problem in this dungeon, even though you do need magic for the enemy. If you know what I mean, and I think you do, some viewers do. Some viewers do, I'm sure you do, you know. You remember. And if you don't, well, you'll find out today. Now that we've taken care of that dead end, we can go all the way to the left. Those tin suits are annoying. They really are. Especially when you've got a whole bunch of wizards. Now we have another one of these rooms, just like in the Island Palace. And, got a couple of Paramatus up here. Paratamu, sorry. I got dyslexic all of a sudden. And I'm not going to worry about that point bag. Because it's not going to take me to the next level. And, we're almost done with this dungeon anyway. This palace. This area, this sector, this level, whatever you want to call it. Now this boss enemy, Karok, he's pretty much undefeatable unless you have a very particular spell. And this spell is Reflect, and like I mentioned earlier, it basically reflects magic from your shield. So the easiest way to get rid of him is just to go all the way on the left-hand side and just wait. The reflect spell's not going to wear off unless you go off screen to another area. Like in another room. So, you can just do this forever. And that's the best way to take care of them. And, of course, we get the key, and now we can use the crystal that we have and take care of this palace. Now, I'm not going to go for the next magic level. I'm actually going to try to shoot for 9,000 points, 9,000 experience points, because I'm going to try to show you what happens with 9,000 experience points. So I'm going to skip that for now. Of course, when I was playing this, it took me a few seconds to realize what I wanted to do, so don't worry about it. It's going to take us quite a bit of time to build up to the next level, though, even though we're going to easily get it in the next palace. If you know what I mean, and I think you do. Now with the boots, we can walk on water and take a few shortcuts. This is one of the big shortcuts we can take. And on the coast here, if I can wait for these stupid enemies, we can actually get a little bit of a secret. Not much, but it's something. That's all you can get here is 500 point point bag. Of course, points are always stored in bag form. You know, absolutely. I don't know how something intangible as points can be stored in a bag, but, you know, it's one of the questions for the ages, I suppose. From the great philosophers. Now, over here, I was trying to figure out which way I needed to go, because you can't really see where you need to go unless you kind of feel your way around. And if you remember the secret, that was mentioned in the last episode. Yes, we have a heart container right above the island. Well, not the island palace. This is actually the palace in the sea, even though it's a palace on an island. So. But I like how they stick this palace out in the middle of nowhere, and you've got to figure out how to get there. You know. And there's actually a road on the left-hand side. The road goes into the water, and that's how you're kind of supposed to know. Now, I don't know how boots can make you walk on water, but oh well. Now, this dungeon here is, now we're getting to the palaces that are very, very complex. Avoid the ropes here, just get them as quickly as you can. But by complex, I mean that there's going to be faults, well, there's going to be dead ends, and false pits, and all sorts of fun stuff. This is kind of forcing you to have the fairy magic, which is going to be useful. We're going to need it, especially not only for just this palace, but for the next palace as well. And you do want to go back and get the key. And I'm going to get rid of this bubble. I don't like this bubble. Another collapsible bridge. Nothing we can't handle. This isn't, well, this section here, I just kind of avoid it. It's not worth dealing with the iron knuckles, and honestly, I don't need the experience because I'm going to get it anyway by the end of the level. Kind of like the little stained glass in the background there. Now, those guys are magos. They give significant experience, but they vanish pretty quickly, and so they're kind of a pain in the ass to deal with. Here you do want to use the jump spell, though, to get this key. And again, you can actually perform kind of a glitch here, but I'm not going to do that just yet. Maybe in a bonus episode, or maybe later. Haven't decided yet what I want to do. But you know the glitch I'm talking about. See, the glitch, it kind of, let's just put it this way. It shows you a part of the game that you don't normally see, and then, until the end of the game, and then you're pretty much dead. I mean, as in, the game is over. You can't unglitch yourself. So I kind of want to wait on that. Don't want to really spoil anything, even though I've already probably spoiled a lot already, so. But there's a method to my madness. Take the left fork here. You know, like Yogi Berra says, when there's a fork in the road, take it. And I'm not going to worry about that pea bag. Another fork in the road. Or at least an elevator shaft. I'm going to jump up here. There's nothing up here. But there's a key that I do want. Now in this level, this palace, there is an item that you're only going to really use once. And you have to use this item in order to access the last part of Hyrule. And the last part of Hyrule is going to have a lot of goodies and a lot of spells and items that you're going to really need, and the final palaces, of course, too. Now here is a false wall, just like we were told about in one of the towns. Now I've got to wait for this Mago to stop throwing fire at me. But whatever. Of course, we had to go all the way around just for that key. And if you remember an earlier fork, if you took the right fork, you'd get to that dead end, you'd see the key, and you wouldn't know how to get there. So this palace has a lot of things like that, where you have to just go all the way around in circles to get what you need. Nothing there, but I thought I'd show you anyway. The Magos take a couple of hits, but the problem is they disappear so quickly that to me it's just not worth it. Of course, we got these guys again. It's not really taking out that much in terms of health, though. Now we got one of these big open rooms, so what do you think is going to be at the end of this? Can you guess? Well, what item do you think we would be given in this room? Well, in this palace, anyway. Like, to hell with you, Iron Knuckle. You gotta watch out here, because he can kill you while you get an item. Anyways, here we get the fairy flute, or just the flute. And just like most Zelda games anyways, there's some sort of a musical instrument, a flute of some kind. And that's what we get. And I'm not worried about the Iron Knuckle at all. Screw him. But hey, you know, we do get the red jar, and that's nice. That's gonna help us with our life a little bit. Of course, let's walk back through this invisible wall again. The dead end. That's not really a dead end. Most blue Iron Knuckles at this point, not unless I really have to take care of them, I'm not going to get rid of them. There's just no point. You know what I mean? I mean, why stress ourselves over that? I think the biggest challenge is not necessarily the enemies in this palace, but the fact that it's just a giant maze. So now that we've done that, we can go left. And with all the keys that we've built up, we can start using them. By the way, if you want to know if there's anything here, there's a red jar. Now I'm not going to go back and get the keys because I'm getting kind of sick of this palace. And you can use fairy magic at this point anyway. Besides, we're so close to the end. Why worry about it? Anyways, here we've got Goomba. And he's not too bad. I just kind of like to jump around and, well, maybe use shield just because I'm going to get hit anyway. And down thrust as you jump through him, and, yeah, If you got enough magic, you'll be able to use life. You can kind of bounce on him there with the down thrust, but you kind of want to down thrust as you're jumping up, and you get him that way. So, easy. Unlock the door, and there we go. So let's see what happens when you get 9,000 points. And by the way, when you do, you're basically going to get an extra life, so just warning you. Anyways, this is going to end the episode, so thank you so much for watching, and have a good day. Goodbye. Well, I'm not going to get that yet. You'll see later. Bye-bye.